Hello, and thank you for joining us for the American Nurses Association National Awards and President's Award Ceremony. These awards are bestowed every 2 years to recognize outstanding nurse leaders and champions. We had planned to honor them in person in June. We thank them for their flexibility and are so grateful for this opportunity to recognize them virtually. This year's recipients have led exemplary careers and made a lasting impact on the nursing profession and healthcare. Their stories are inspirational. As you know, 2020 was designated the Year of the Nurse and Midwife by the World Health Organization in honor of the 200th anniversary of Florence Nightingale's birth. ANA began the year with plans to elevate and celebrate the contributions of nurses. When we began planning this milestone year, no one predicted that what we would be facing today. Yet, we are reminded now more than ever of the true strength and commitment of the profession. This year's award recipients embody the anchors ANA chose to frame the Year of the Nurse: excellence, leadership, and innovation. Since the spring, when COVID-19 took hold in communities across the nation, nurses have continued to provide care while risking their own health and safety. Recent events have been a stark reminder, however, that COVID-19 is not the only crisis Americans are facing. We continue to witness acts of racism and injustice. Racism is a long-standing public health crisis that impacts mental, spiritual, and physical health. ANA has taken positions against racism, discrimination, and healthcare disparities, and positions advocating for human rights. In partnership with nurses everywhere, ANA has pledged to educate, advocate, and to end systemic racism, particularly within nursing. Nurses have confronted these crises with grit, resilience, and kindness, embracing a common spirit of being in this together. Today's award recipients represent the leadership, fortitude, dedication, and ingenuity it takes to persevere and excel in challenging times. As you will hear, they distinguish themselves in practice, diversity, ethics, and as champions of nursing. Many were trailblazers, charting a path for others to follow. It is my sincere honor to present the 2020 President's Award. This award recognizes significant contributions to the advancement of nursing and to elevating the public's perception of the value of nursing. We have 3 recipients of the 2020 President's Award. Our first recipient is Minnie B. Carter. Ms. Carter retired from nursing in 1988 after 40 years of service. She entered into the Cadet Nurse Corps at Hampton University, Hampton, Virginia in 1944. I first met Ms. Carter at a dinner celebrating the 75th anniversary of the U.S. Cadet Nurse Corps. I was fascinated by her story, which is one of perseverance, blazing a trail for others to follow. Without her revolutionary work, I know that I may not be where I am today. While attending the Hampton Training School for Nurses, associated with Dixie Hospital in Hampton, Virginia, Ms. Carter applied to and was accepted by the Cadet Nurse Corps. In addition to integrating Dixie Hospital associated with Hampton Institute, Ms. Carter also helped to integrate the U.S. Cadet Nurse Corps. Gaining entrance into this program was extremely difficult for a, quote, colored woman. Although the Cadet Nurse Corps was the first uniformed service to include a non-discriminatory clause in its mandate, racism was ever present. As a cadet nurse during World War II, Ms. Carter was responsible for patient care in understaffed civilian hospitals. As a Black woman, she encountered many obstacles while training to become a nurse. She persevered, took advantage of this opportunity, and went on to become a leader. Ms. Carter worked as head nurse and supervisor in all areas of the hospital. This experience more than prepared her for the various positions later as a registered nurse. As a cadet nurse, she endured long hours of study, work, and crowded living conditions, and through it all, she achieved her goal of becoming a registered nurse. Ms. Carter worked as a registered nurse at Freedman's Hospital in Washington, D.C. She integrated the nursing staff at D.C. General Hospital, the National Institute of Health, Bethesda, Maryland, and various other Washington metropolitan area hospitals. Her training prepared her to work with various nationalities, nurses from distant foreign countries and Europe. This was during a time when most places in America did not let races commingle in the workplace. It was challenging, working rotating shifts, enduring insults from various patients. Sometimes she was the only Black registered nurse on duty. Ms. Carter transformed these experiences into positive learning environments and had a prosperous and fulfilling career in nursing. It gives me great pleasure to present the 2020 President Award to Ms. Carter.
Good evening. It is truly an honor for me to be recognized by the American Nurses Association. I humbly accept this Presidential Award presented by Dr. Ernest Grant and the American Nurses Association Board of Directors. It was indeed a surprise when I received this beautiful trophy at my home. I have had quite a journey since my introduction as a cadet nurse corps student at Hampton University in 1944. Like many nurses today who are treating patients with the COVID-19 virus and promoting health equity for all patients, I too fought and marched for justice and equality during the 1940s and the 1950s. I treated patients with polio who were placed in the iron lung machine to aid in breathing, just as you are treating patients on the ventilators today. We were masked, gowned, worked long hours, and held the hands of thousands of dying patients struggling to breathe. History has repeated itself today. I urge nurses who are working on the front lines today to have faith. Remember the 4 basic care for nursing patients: physiological, psychological, spiritual, and socialization. Young nurses, follow your dreams. Never give up. Treat all patients equal with respect and compassion. If you assign 15 patients on a unit and you only receive 2 or 3 thank yous and smiles from your patients, that is your reward for your service, and great will be your reward later. Cherish it. Hard times will make you stronger and wiser in your journey through life. Again, I thank the American Nurses Association for honoring me today. Thank you for supporting the Cadet Nurse Corps Recognition Act 2056. This bill is in Congress now, awaiting passage after 20 or more years of repeated presentation to the legislators. I pray to the final passage of this bill on behalf of all cadet nurses who have served our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter, and I promise you we will continue to work to get that piece of legislation passed. Our second President Award goes to the late Dr. Patrick Kenny. Dr. Kenny had a long and distinguished career in nursing education. He was a beloved leader, educator, and mentor to many nurses, nursing students, patients, families, and staff. Sadly, he passed away on January 2nd, 2019. He received his Bachelor of Science in Nursing from DeSales University in Allentown, Pennsylvania, his Master of Science in Nursing from the University of Pennsylvania, and his Doctorate in Education from Teachers College, Columbia University. At the time of his passing, Patrick was the LPN Program Chair at Jersey College Nursing School. Prior to his position at Jersey College, Dr. Kenny was an assistant professor of nursing and health at DeSales University. Patrick spent his career fighting for those who were underrepresented, men in nursing, the LGBTQ+ community, and patients with HIV/AIDS. In his 40+ years of membership with the Pennsylvania State Nurses Association, Patrick held virtually every elected office, including president, and served on every committee at the national level. He served as a representative to ANA's House of Delegates and Membership Assembly, and on the Bylaws Committee and Subcommittee on National Awards. One of his major areas of focus was AIDS education and care. Patrick was passionate about mentoring his students to become excellent nurses and professionals. I was one of the many people fortunate enough to call Patrick a mentor after meeting him at my very first ANA convention in 1990. He also devoted time to hospice work at St. Mary's Medical Center, Chandler Hall. He epitomized true nursing leadership. He advanced the profession of nursing through his selfless service at the local, state, and national levels, engaged in authentic mentorship that helped nurses and nursing students become better versions of who they are, and advocated tirelessly for the causes in which he believed. Accepting the award on behalf of the late Patrick Kenny is Betsy Snock, Chief Executive Officer of the Pennsylvania State Nurses Association.
Hi, I'm Betsy Snook, CEO of the Pennsylvania State Nurses Association. Today, I am honored to accept the ANA 2020 President's Award on behalf of my colleague and friend, Patrick Kenny. Patrick spent his career fighting for those who are underrepresented, men in nursing, the LGBTQ community, and patients with HIV/AIDS. In his over 40 years of membership with the Pennsylvania State Nurses Association, Patrick held virtually every electable office and served on every committee. During his service, he never hesitated to speak out against or prevent injustice. Patrick actively engaged in the next generation of members and students, empowering and inspiring them to continue the work of patient care and professional advocacy. Patrick passed away in January of 2019, leaving a legacy of laughter, love, and passion. We thank ANA and ANA President Dr. Ernest Grant for recognizing Patrick's tireless contributions to the nursing profession and commitment to the members of ANA and PSNA. Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy, and please give my best to Patrick's family. Our third recipient is Barbara Nichols. As an African American, Barbara's career in nursing includes many firsts. She began her journey as a nurse leader when she graduated from the Massachusetts Memorial Hospital School of Nursing in Boston, becoming a nurse at a time when many hospitals were still racially segregated. She earned her bachelor's degree in nursing at Case Western Reserve University in Ohio and took a job at Boston's Children's Hospital, where she was the only African-American registered nurse on staff. She joined the Navy Nurse Corps and moved to Madison, Wisconsin to work at St. Mary's Hospital. Barbara was active in the Wisconsin Nurses Association and the American Nurses Association. She founded the Wisconsin Society for Healthcare Education and Training, where she created innovative professional development curricula for nurses. In 1970, Barbara was elected president of the Wisconsin Nurses Association, the first African American to hold the position in the organization's 100-year history. In 1979, she was elected president of ANA, becoming the first African American to serve as the top leader of the National Association. In 1983, Barbara became the first African American woman in Wisconsin to hold a cabinet-level position when she was appointed secretary of the Wisconsin Department of Regulation and Licensing. From the late 1990s until her retirement in 2011, Barbara was the chief executive officer of CGFNS International, an organization that evaluates educational credentials of graduates of foreign nursing schools. She has received many honors and awards, including being designated a living legend of the American Academy of Nursing, inducted into the Institute of Excellence of the National Black Nurses Association, and received ANA's Mary Mahoney Award. Barbara has published more than 200 manuscripts on nursing and healthcare and has been an outspoken advocate for diversity in nursing. Barbara is a great mentor. She blazed a trail that has allowed me to be only the third African American to hold the position of ANA president. So it is with great honor that I present Barbara Nichols with this year's President's Award.
I thank the American Nurses Association in general for this recognition, and in particular Ernest Grant for this most prestigious award. Truly, it is the nurses of the world who won this award for me. Also, I want to thank my mother, who has been my best audience, my best critic, my best friend. I'm thankful for that. Although the award personally recognizes me, I accept it in honor of all nurses of color for the compassion, the commitment, and the care they bring not only to nursing, but to the public they serve. It's wonderful to be acknowledged, affirmed, recognized by one's peers. And it's even nicer to hear everything you said while I'm still alive and I can hear it. And so I am glad and most appreciative. So thank you from my heart for this wonderful honor.
And thank you, Barbara. On behalf of the ANA Board of Directors, congratulations to this year's President's Award recipients. Now it is my privilege to introduce Dr. Varsha Singh, a member of the ANA Board and Chair of the Committee on Honorary Awards. Dr. Singh.
Thank you, President Grant. It has been my distinct pleasure to serve as Chair of Committee on Honorary Awards. The ANA Board of Directors is ultimately responsible for bestowing all national awards. The members of the Committee on Honorary Awards are appointed by the ANA Board of Directors. They review the award nominations and submit recommendation to the board for consideration. Before I begin the presentations, I wish to offer my sincere appreciation to the members of the Committee on Honorary Awards for their service. Since the early 1900s, ANA has presented awards to prominent nurses to recognize their outstanding contributions to our profession. In particular, The Hall of Fame Award recognizes an individual's lifelong commitment to nursing, an enduring impact on the health and/or social, political history of the United States. And now, it gives me great pleasure to present our 2020 Hall of Fame inductees and honorary award recipients.
The American Nurses Association welcomes you to the 2020 National Awards. In this moment, we honor outstanding women and men that have demonstrated a standard of excellence and elevated the profession of nursing to new heights. Our recipients embody the pillars of the Year of the Nurse: excellence, leadership, and innovation. This year, ANA celebrates 3 new inductees into the ANA Hall of Fame and honors 10 recipients with national honorary awards. We're excited to have you join us as we celebrate these outstanding individuals. Dr. Rose Constantino has demonstrated the distinguished service, steadfast leadership, exceptional mentorship, and effective advocacy that epitomize an ANA Hall of Fame recipient. She currently works as an associate professor at the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing, where she received the Phenomenal Leader Award and is a practicing lawyer in Pittsburgh. The blending of the two has led her to a career in forensic nursing, where her research emphasizes the underlying systemic social justice issues that lead to violence and health inequities, looking at the overall human experience of patient care. Her work in identifying the most effective and feasible methods of delivering intervention in instances of intimate partner violence is truly revolutionary and life-changing for the people who it affects. In the classroom, she is recognized by her students as an outstanding teacher and a powerful role model.
My biggest accomplishment, I think, is to be awarded by ANA the Hall of Fame Award. And I thank the board for giving this award to me. It's very precious. It's very meaningful to me because especially during the year of the nurse and the midwife, and also this calamity that we have.
Beyond the classroom, she continues to find ways to educate and engage her colleagues globally. We celebrate her dedication as an advocate and mentor for the next generation of nurses, providing innovative ways for them to excel both inside and out of the classroom. Today, we do our part to acknowledge these immense accomplishments by welcoming Dr. Constantino into the ANA Hall of Fame.
Thank you, ANA President Grant, ANA Board of Directors, Dr. Marguerite Zaylon, Dr. Elizabeth Fildes, and Dr. Regal Tan for giving me this privilege to come before you to accept this 2020 Hall of Fame Award in the Year of the Nurse and Midwife. Bill Ballard said that the highest form of human knowledge is empathy. Empathy requires understanding and responsibility, and above all, it requires one to suspend their ego, their self, and their well-being to serve others. The nurses, midwives, physicians, and all service and healthcare providers are doing exactly what we were taught to practice: empathy. May they be safe and strong. Thank you very much.
Dr. Jerry Milstead's distinguished career as a nurse is highlighted by her remarkable leadership and excellence in the area of health policy. Her outstanding dedication and commitment to the field has led to her development as a premier nurse educator who has inspired countless nurses to take notice of health policy and recognize the value of political action. As the founding editor and senior author of Health Policy and Politics, A Nurse's Guide, Dr. Milstead has established a key resource for nurses to develop their knowledge of the health policy process. Amongst nurse leaders, Dr. Milstead's leadership still rises above. Dr. Milstead was one of 5 founding members of the Nightingale Institute, providing a virtual gathering opportunity for experienced policy nurses to discuss healthcare and nursing issues. This has led to her being recognized as a trailblazer in the world of online education, and she has been awarded honorary doctorates for her leadership and commitment.
Real nurse leaders have the ability to take the conceptual or 50,000 mile up view of something and bring it down to the very implementable practical piece. And we move back and forth in that realm all the time. I think that's part of what nurses do. And I think that I've been able to help us do that in the policy realm. And I feel good about that.
Dr. Milstead has also made a substantial global impact over the course of her distinguished career. She has worked in the Netherlands, Jordan, Nicaragua, Cuba, and China. In 2020 alone, she has developed relationships and health policy in Albania, Croatia, Italy, Panama, Portugal, and Rwanda. Dr. Milstead has also been a leader in ANA state associations in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and South Carolina, as well as served on legislation committees at the state and district level. Please join us in recognizing these outstanding accomplishments. Congratulations, Dr. Milstead.
Thank you, President Grant and the American Nurses Association for this prestigious honor. I am deeply moved. I thank ANA for recognizing the impact of my contribution to the profession through my work in the public policy process. The nurse's role in policy decisions was unknown or silent for most of the last century. Nursing's influence and power are strong today in part because of my leadership in teaching, consulting, proselytizing, personal involvement, and writing. For example, my policy book, Health Policy and Politics, A Nurse's Guide, has worldwide impact. It has been sold in 22 countries and serves as a foundational textbook for graduate students. It's in its 7th draft. Today, nurses in master's and doctoral programs are expected to connect policy implications to clinical problems. We are engaged in agenda setting, laws and regulations, and program design, implementation, and evaluation. We sit on boards. We mentor colleagues, and we run for elected office. Nurses in the 21st century help policymakers frame issues and consider solutions. Nurses and policy are intertwined, and nursing's voice makes a difference. As the world recovers from the corona pandemic and we learn to live in the space between separation and integration, separation from family, work, and society, and integration of public and policy partnerships to restart our damaged economy, nurses are emerging as leaders in teams in which policy decisions will address public health and recreate healthcare systems. As we celebrate Florence Nightingale's 200th birthday, I acknowledge her political shrewdness and wisdom and hope that I have continued her legacy. I want to thank my nominator, Sally Morgan, an exceptional leader, and 3 colleagues who wrote letters of support. U.S. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, who has served in the House of Representatives for 32 years, longer than any woman in the history of the House. Major General Dr. Irene Troll Harris, and Dr. Cheryl Geis. I also want to recognize Jan Lanier, Dr. Nancy Short, Renata Loquist, the late Dorothy Cornelius, and the late Lorraine Cruz, my aunt, all nurses who have inspired me at pivotal points in my career. Finally, my foundation is my fabulous family who show me their love every day and think I can do everything. My children and spouses, Karen and the late George Biddle, Kevin Milstead and Greg Peace, Joan and Nick Russell, Sarah and Steve Lott, grandchildren, Sonny and Heath Nethers, George Biddle and Lindsay Lakowski, Matt and Cynthia Lott, and great-grandchildren, Colton and Gunnar Lott, and my brothers and sisters, Mary, Lorraine, Lynn, Joe, and the late Jack and Mike. They have been my cheering section forever. I stand here today on the shoulders of phenomenal leaders throughout the history of our profession, and my colleagues, my family, and my friends. Again, thank you.
Dr. Tim Porter O'Grady's career is highlighted by serving and supporting others as they become and thrive as nurses through his dedication, outstanding leadership, and excellence in his own nursing career. Since becoming a professional registered nurse more than 48 years ago, Dr. Porter O'Grady has been an active member of the American Nurses Association, leading a major change in board structures and governance strengthening. Beyond the ANA, he has lent his leadership and guidance to advancing nursing and healthcare delivery at Emory University, Arizona State University, and the Ohio State University, in addition to serving more than 25 boards over the course of his illustrious career.
As I've said many, many times, I've never, ever regretted the choice of nursing as a profession. I'm so proud to have been able to call myself a nurse and to work as a member of that and continue to work as a member of that honorable and noble profession.
Dr. Porter O'Grady still finds time to personally serve others. To this day, he serves as a wound and foot nurse specialist on the Mercy Care of Atlanta Street Medicine Team, a program he wrote the $3 million grant to permanently establish to care for the homeless and underserved. Tim is recognized as a leader with tremendous passion for the greater good of nursing, and during times of uncertainty in transition and growth, he is seen as an impactful voice of where to go next. We acknowledge him as a truly remarkable nurse, educator, and leader. Congratulations, Dr. Tim Porter O'Grady, on receiving this much-deserved honor.
I can't tell you how grateful I am to receive this award. Being inducted in the Nursing Hall of Fame is something beyond my wildest imagination as a nurse. I am thankful and I am grateful for your wonderful honoring of me in this way. There are so many people that I have to thank, and if I thank them all, I would take all of my time in thanks. I do want to acknowledge that I am thankful for the ones who have loved me, who have been colleagues and friends in my journey, who have supported me then and support me now. Please know that I am thankful for you, I appreciate you, and I love you as much in return. I do want to take the few minutes I have to acknowledge that this is the 200th year of Florence Nightingale's birthday. It's also the year of the nurse. What a double honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame on Florence Nightingale's anniversary and in the year of the nurse. I'm doubly proud of being inducted this year. I want to recall Florence Nightingale's leadership and pray that just a small amount of that leadership will be in my legacy as I think about my own career and as I continue to move forward as a nurse. I think about Florence Nightingale a lot, and I think about her leadership. I think about when she became a nurse at Middlesex Hospital when they were experiencing a cholera epidemic in Great Britain. I think about the pest house she found, and then the courage and leadership that she demonstrated by transforming it from a pest house, applying her principles of hygiene, of cleanliness, of nursing practice, and creating out of it a model hospital of the day. I think of the Crimean War, where she confronted 18,000 wounded soldiers who were dying there not of their wounds, but of the epidemic of cholera and of influenza. Yet there again, she applied the same principles, and in it was able to return the conditions there to be supportive of health and healing. At that time, she used 5 basic principles: hygiene, hand washing; distancing, separating beds; cleanliness, high levels of relationship and interaction, fresh air and institutional organization, and the use of data, recognizing that data was a part of clinical decision-making, and building a system of data management that would inform clinical practice. Now I think about this year as we've experienced our own pandemic, and how many of those principles did we also apply in our time? What a legacy she left for us. I am thankful for her. I am thankful for having had such a wonderful career in nursing. I am thankful for the legacy that she has left for us, and I am hopeful that my legacy will be just a small part of what she's given us. And I am proud to reflect and to claim on my being a nurse to this very day. Thank you so much for this honor. Know that I am grateful and I am humbled.
Receiving the Advocacy Award is Patricia LaBrosse. Currently, she serves as the Director of Health Policy and Advocacy for the Louisiana State Nurses Association, where she works tirelessly to aid positive legislation for her fellow healthcare professionals. She has served as a critical and assertive voice with state legislators to open their eyes on crucial issues facing our nursing community. Throughout her career, she has sought to promote nurses as leaders and change agents. Join us as we celebrate her contributions and advocacy for our nurses both in Louisiana and throughout the United States.
Thank you to the American Nurses Association for this prestigious award. There are so many nurses around the country engaged in history-making advocacy work, and to have been selected from such an esteemed group of nominees is a humbling experience. First, I thank God for placing me in a position to have been seriously considered for this opportunity. Second, I thank Dr. Anielle Jones-Burks, who submitted my nomination. Thanks to colleagues in ANA and the Louisiana State Nurses Association, who continue as unfailing mentors as I navigate challenging advocacy waters. It is imperative to also thank the Louisiana registered nurses who trust me to be their voice as we engage in advocacy efforts. Lastly, my heartfelt gratitude to my husband, Doug, whose unconditional love and support keep me grounded. As we strive to recover from the challenges of a global pandemic, I am confident in the resilience of registered nurses as we forge our new normals. And I am confident that the American Nurses Association will be at the forefront of leading advocacy initiatives to assist with meeting the needs of patients, communities, and our profession. Thank you again to ANA for this advocacy award and for celebrating the achievements of all who are honored here at this time. Each of you are giants in our profession.
Also, receiving the 2020 American Nurses Association Advocacy Award is Dr. Cindy Zolnirik. Dr. Zolnirik stands out for her passion, knowledge, and commitment to promoting the profession of nursing in the state of Texas. In her current role as Executive Director of the Texas Nurses Association, she has worked tirelessly to advocate for the important workplace protection that encourages and allows nurses to feel comfortable speaking up about safety concerns. Furthermore, she championed the passage of the Texas Hospital Safe Staffing Law for nurses to have input into the staffing decisions that impact their work. Thank you, Dr. Zolnirik, for your passion and commitment to serving as a voice for our nurses.
I accept this award with deep appreciation and respect for all the nurses out there who are advocating for their patients every day. Right now, thousands of nurses fear speaking out about safety concerns as they take care of patients with COVID-19. Our advocacy work is not done until every nurse's voice is heard and heeded without retaliation. It is an honor and a privilege to advance that goal collaboratively with the American Nurses Association. Thank you.
Receiving the Champion of Nursing Award is Michael Singer, CEO of Strategic Partners Incorporated. He has worked tirelessly to support the nursing profession and has put the full weight of his company's resources and influence behind this mission. Mike's compassion for nursing does not end with SPI. He has worked to inspire others and show the care that all nurses give to their patients. From launching Scrubs magazine, the country's first lifestyle magazine exclusively for nurses, to his company's funding of a landmark educational documentary, A Nurse I Am. Mike allows nurses to reach even greater heights through his support and his leadership in that role as one of the world's leading allies of nurses everywhere. Congratulations, Mike, and thank you for your continued advocacy for the nursing profession.
I was so surprised to receive this award, and I humbly accept it on behalf of our amazing team at Charismatic Brands. Charismatic is our new company name. We make Cherokee, Dickies, Heart Soul, and Scrubstar uniforms, and we help create a warmer, friendlier hospital environment for children with our character scrubs. Valuable input from nurse executives inspired the name Charismatic, which combines care and charisma, two qualities we admire in the nurses we know. From our nearly 700 people serving nurses, plus tens of thousands in mills and factories around the world. From our designers, the sewers, the people in our distribution center who pack each order with care. From your local uniform retailers who outfit nurses and everyone else on our team. We thank and we salute our country's extraordinary nurses. We see your strength, courage, knowledge, expertise, the education, skill, and care you bring to work. It is an honor to champion nurses and to stand with those who advocate on their behalf. We thank the ANA for all that you do for nurses and for this kind and thoughtful recognition of our efforts.
Receiving the 2020 American Nurses Association Distinguished Direct Patient Care Award is Dr. Vicki Friedenberg. Dr. Friedenberg has worked for the past 27 years as an advanced practice nurse in electrophysiology at Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. Her research focuses on the use of non-pharmacological methods to decrease stress and anxiety in patients, families, and staff. Her evidence-based approach to reducing distress for her patients has led to positive published findings and an overwhelming positive response from those impacted. Her clinical skills are exceptional and alone would deserve this honor. But what truly sets her apart is her empathy for her patients and their families. We recognize and appreciate Dr. Friedenberg's many accomplishments and look forward to seeing her work continue to change lives in the future.
I want to thank the ANA for this great honor and Children's National Hospital for nominating me. Over my 40 years in nursing, I've learned that one can be a hospital-based clinical nurse and a nurse researcher at the same time, and that it's never too late to try something new. My greatest joy in nursing has been caring for my patients and their families over the continuum of their lives and being able to mentor and educate others in my field along the way. I'd like to thank my clinical mentors, Drs. Jeff Moak and Charlie Barul, and Dr. Pam Hines, my nursing research mentor, who pushes and inspires me to become the best clinical nurse scientist that I can be. Many thanks to Dr. Sue Thomas, my academic mentor, who guided me through both my master's and doctoral programs. I'm grateful to have nursing colleagues and coworkers who are more like family, and I wouldn't be here without them. I'm proud to be a nurse among the legions of caring, courageous, and heroic nurses in this year of the Nurse 2020. Most importantly, thanks to my husband Joel and my sons Brett, Scott, and Ross, who have been my guiding lights throughout this journey. Thank you.
Our first winner of the Diversity Award is Dr. Bridget Carter. Dr. Carter has lived a life of service and excellence spanning 28 years in the U.S. Navy Reserves, including 9 years of active duty, and received her PhD in nursing from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She has since turned her focus to engaging the next generation of nurses by creating opportunities for underrepresented racial and ethnic minorities as the Associate Dean for Diversity and Inclusion at Duke University's School of Nursing. Since taking this role, she created a shift in culture to openness and willingness to take on these challenging subjects and put in the hard work to change the landscape of nursing for the better. Please join us in thanking Dr. Carter for her dedication to the advancement of diversity and inclusion within the nursing profession.
I am so honored and humbled to be the recipient of the ANA Diversity Award. I am very aware that I have been and will continue to stand on some great shoulders in the work we all do. I want to thank Dean Marianne Broom, the faculty, staff, and students at Duke University School of Nursing. They've been the force behind each of my projects, and I thank them for supporting my vision for change and for walking with me as change agent. And to my husband, James, I thank you for supporting me in every way. I leave with you a call to action. In order to further diversify nursing, it takes more than a single strategy, a few hospitals and schools committing to the cause. Enhancing diversity and creating an environment that is supportive and inclusive is each of our responsibility. So look around, and if everyone looks like you, no matter what your racial background, gender, or other differences, it's time to take action. Thank you again so much.
Also receiving the Diversity Award is Dr. Ronald Hickman. We recognize him as an innovator of inclusion that has worked tirelessly to advance diversity within nursing, especially among men, racial minorities, and members of the LGBTQ community. His leadership in founding a chapter of the American Association of Men in Nursing, where he currently serves as vice president, as well as partnership with colleges and universities to recruit racial minorities into the nursing field, has already played a huge role in shaping sociological norms surrounding diversity and inclusion in the nursing profession. We are excited to honor his continued work to make the profession more diverse and inclusive for the next generation of nurses.
Good evening. I am truly honored to be this year's recipient of ANA's Diversity Award. This award recognizes the lives and contributions of Eliza Mahoney and Luther Christman. Both Eliza Mahoney and Luther Christman are pioneers, legends, and influencers and champions of diversity and inclusivity in our profession. The work that they've done have made some tremendous impact on the nursing profession, and I am humbled to be honored with an award that is inspired by their work, their dedication, and legacy. In closing, I want to sincerely thank the ANA, its award selection committee, for this wonderful honor. Thank you very much.
Receiving the Foundations of Nursing Practice Award is Dr. Kimberly Bagley. Since being drawn to nursing to ensure that every patient receives the highest level of patient care, Dr. Kim Bagley has pursued and received degrees from Duke University and University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. At Duke Raleigh Hospital, where she currently practices, Dr. Bagley led the development of a comprehensive oncology education program that provides the needed education for medical surgical nurses with little or no prior oncology experience to safely care for patients. This dedication to excellence and the advancement of all nurses are a perfect example of the ideals of this award, and we appreciate the level of care, leadership, and scholarship that Dr. Bagley has shown in her service to the profession. Congratulations to our Foundations of Nursing Practice Award honoree, Dr. Bagley.
Hello, everyone. I would first like to say thank you to the American Nurses Association for this award. It is particularly meaningful to me as it represents over a decade of collaborative efforts working with some amazing individuals in both the nursing and medical fields to help improve the lives of our patients. To all of those nurses, advanced practice providers, and physicians who over the years have helped shape my practice, used evidence-based practice to inform what we do for our patients, and help put in place meaningful efforts for change, thank you so much. American Nurses Association, thank you again for this award.
Receiving the Leadership in Ethics Award is Lori Badzek. Lori Badzek has epitomized the highest standards of ethics and leadership throughout her career, spanning multiple professorships, practicing as an attorney, and serving the state of West Virginia in a variety of roles, including as an assistant director for the Center of Health Ethics and Law. In her current role as Dean of the College of Nursing at Penn State University, Dean Badzek is using her expertise to shape the next generation of nurses. Her work at these institutions, and as director of the ANA Center for Ethics and Human Rights, has earned her national and international recognition as a leader and spokesperson on ethics and healthcare policy. Thank you, Lori, for your service as a nurse, attorney, and educator who has helped move our field forward.
My fellow nurses, I am humbled for this honor and recognition. I thank my parents, siblings, my husband Bill, my children and grandchildren, along with a huge extended family that includes relatives, friends, mentors, and the nominators who submitted me for this award, all of whom have contributed to the person I am today. And I thank all of you. As nurses, we stand on the shoulders of giants who have given us the world's most trusted profession and an amazing set of values embodied in a code of ethics for nurses that we share. I am so proud to stand beside all of you. Each of you, through your practice, demonstrate ethical leadership and caring every day. You are a beacon of hope for me and the world's health. I stand indebted to you for holding me up. Each of you are equally deserving of awards for ethics, practice, competence, caring, generosity, and courage in the face of uncertainty. Together, we make a difference in the lives of people as we put our shoulders together to do good. I am eternally grateful to you and for this great honor. Thank you.
Also receiving the Leadership in Ethics Award is Jeannie Sutherland. In her current role as Director of Ethics Services at University Health System in San Antonio, Texas, she formed the Nursing Ethics Council and mentors nurses to better understand the ethical dimensions of care. She has provided students with a unique opportunity to participate in proactive ethics rounds. This innovative approach has led to the development of such programs at other institutions. Jeannie Sutherland is a highly respected role model to future and fellow nurses as someone who provides excellent guidance through challenging ethical dilemmas. Thank you, Jeannie, for serving as a guiding light in this area.
I want to thank the American Nurses Association for this incredible honor. I recognize that I would not be here today had it not been for the amazing nursing instructors and fellow mentors that have helped me along the way. I'm very appreciative of the work that they have done and with those that have gone before me. This is the Year of the Nurse, and right now there's a lot of nurses at the bedside that are doing incredible work, taking care of patients during this pandemic. Ironically, in the Year of the Nightingale. So I wish for them safety, protection, and respect. Thank you again for this honor, and again, thank you very much.
Receiving the Public Health Service Award is Dr. William Rosa. Dr. Rosa is an award-winning author and relentless global health advocate. He spearheaded substantive national service actions within the U.S. nursing workforce to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. His work has been published in numerous scientific journals, and his findings have been crucial in mitigating the national opioid addiction epidemic. His book, A New Era in Global Health, has received exceptional praise throughout many national professional associations. We recognize him for his outstanding work within global public health and for nursing as a whole. Please join us in recognizing Dr. Rosa for his amazing achievements.
Hi, this is Billy Rosa from New York City, and this is my bedroom floor because all of my family is working from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. I wanted to take a moment to thank the ANA both for this acknowledgement and this award, and also for your leadership during this health crisis. I also want to take the opportunity to continue to advocate two very important issues during this public health emergency. The first is the Sustainable Development Agenda. If you don't know about the Sustainable Development Goals, please identify ways that you can contribute to them at hospital levels, community levels, and at the policy level. And the second is universal access to palliative care. This pandemic has really raised global awareness of serious health-related suffering, and that every nurse needs to be a palliative care nurse to alleviate that suffering worldwide. So thank you again to the ANA for this acknowledgement. I am so humbled to be counted among these recipients, and wishing you all safety and good health. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you to all the award recipients. Before I'm going to go off script for just a second and ask that each of you who is a nurse, who is a friend of a nurse, who is a family member of a nurse, that you please contact your senators and ask them to co-sponsor Senate Bill 997, which is the U.S. Cadet Nurse Corps Service Recognition Act. We are very close to getting that passed, and we need your help. It would be wonderful if we could get that passed during the Year of the Nurse. So please do that. And now I'm going to go back on script. So thank you again for joining us for the 2020 National Award and the President's Award ceremony. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all of this year's awards recipients, each of whom are inspirational role models. For more information on the national awards, please visit nursingworld.org. Finally, on behalf of ANA, I would like to thank all nurses for your continued strength and courage in the face of a global pandemic. The members of the Committee on Honorary Awards are appointed by the ANA Board of Directors. They review the awards nominations and submit the recommendations to the board for consideration. So we thank them for all the work that they have been doing as well. Together, we will continue to excel, lead, and innovate in the days, weeks, and months ahead. I look forward to future in-person events, but until that time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep moving forward. I leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela, a self-described optimist. This is very apt for this time in our history. Quote, "Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed towards the sun, one's feet moving forward," unquote. Let us move forward together, and let us lead with purpose. Thank you and good night.